Hey crafty friends, it's Joy here for Honeybee Stamps, and today I made a cute little craft room die cut card for you. This is the Lovely Layers paper crafting supplies, and there's so many cute things. You have a paper trimmer, die cut, blending brushes, paint brushes, paint palettes, stamp and die holders, little tape, glue. So cute, you guys. So I'm going to start by putting together the die cut machine, which I just think is so cute. I am also using the Lovely Layers pegboard and desk. I think this was from last release. And I'm also using the Don't Worry, Be Crafty stamp set. I have die cut everything from fun colored cardstock because I just wanted this to be a fun, colorful little crafty room. I also used the freebie paper. I think if you spend over $100 when the release happened until supplies ran out, you would get a little package of paper. So I am using that for my background and for my floor. This is such an easy card to put together, but so cute, and you could do this in so many different ways. You have your little pegboard on the back, you have your desktop. Your desk has all the cute drawers. That's from the pegboard and desk. Here I am putting together a little blender brush and like a foam blending tool. Is that not the cutest thing ever? There's also markers, like a tape roll, a glue tube. I mean, come on, it's so cute. So I'm going to glue my desk together. We have a nice little light wood top and a fun teal desk. And then, I'm sorry, my glue was just kept getting clogged and I just had to poke it through. I don't know what the deal was. Like, it would be not clogged and then it would be clogged. Anyways, and then for the pegboard, I did it from like a light gray cardstock. I've got pinks and yellows and corals and purples. And so it's going to be really fun and colorful. Obviously, I did all of my die cutting ahead of time to make this, a quicker video for you guys. Then we have our little markers here. Now, I used a cardstock that had like the same color but darker and lighter. And so I did that for the front and the back of the marker. I say back, that's wrong. The front of the marker is lighter, and then the way the die cuts lay together, the front is smaller, so the tip and the bottom of the back piece sticks out. So I made that darker, so the tip of my marker is darker and then the bottom is. Then we have a little jar that I had not die cut yet, but I did die cut that from vellum, and I'm actually going to put my markers in the jar, which I know sounds kind of funny, but that's what I opted for. Then we have our bottle of glue that I die cut from like a teal and yellow, and I was deciding what color I wanted to go where, but this is going to be more of a yellow. I thought that'd be a fun, bright color for this card because we do have a lot of teals and pinks. So I'm going to get that glued together, and I'm going to glue on the lid, but I think I have the wrong lid, so I need to get the pink lid. Nope, the yellow lid, not a pink lid. I started to do the turquoise lid and I'm like, no, that's wrong. Let me get the yellow one. So anyways, these dies are super easy to put together. Of course, the Lovely Layers dies are always fun to play with. And I love that this goes with the pegboard and desk, because that was from, I'm not 100%, but I think it was last month's release or whatever, or last release, and it was kind of very much a guy's release. And so to be able to use that for this now, I think is fantastic. I'm adding a little bit of foam adhesive, 1mm, behind my desk, just to give that a little bit of dimension. I'm going to place that on my floor, which it looks like cork board, which is really fun because it comes in that freebie paper pad, but obviously you could use whatever you wanted. Then I'm going to stamp the sentiment in the center of that pegboard that we die cut. This is again from the Don't Worry, Be Crafty stamp set. And my sentiment says, don't worry, be crafty. This is perfect for a crafty friend. If they're just having a little bit of a hard time, you want to cheer them up, this is perfect for that. Then I'm going to adhere that on the background, and then let's start putting our pieces together. So I'm going to glue these 3 markers together first because this is what's going to go in our jar. So for that vellum jar, I want to be able to add a little bit of glue at the base. So we'll get to that in a second. I'm going to let those markers stay glued together and dry. Let's adhere our die cut machine. Isn't that so cute? Okay, and then a little bit of adhesive at the bottom of my jar. Just at the bottom so I could kind of hide it behind my desk. And then some glue on the back of my marker, or markers, excuse me, and I'm going to tuck that in. And then I'm just going to use my reverse tweezers to hold that in place for a second. Then we have our containers. I'm going to have some that maybe are hanging up on the wall that hold your dies. And then one that's going to sit on the desk that's going to hold the stamps. And it's embossed with the sentiments that say stamps and dies. And we're going to highlight those here in just a little bit. And I just did a light and a dark pink. And that's how I'm going to place that. And then I'm going to have the stamps sitting on the desk, because if you're right in the middle of working, you probably have your little container of stamps, grabbing out all your honeybee stamps to be making all your cute honeybee cards. And we know that honeybee has a lot of dies, so we needed 2 die holders on our card today. And then let's glue together this stamp set. And again, I'm so sorry, my glue just kept clogging. It's just so funny. Let me get that lighter color because I'm going to do the opposite colors. And then this will be sitting on the desk. So let me put that in place there. Then we have our little foam blender tool, our piece of, or our glue tube that I'm going to put in place. We have our blender brush and a little roll of like low tack tape. You know, we all need that. Let me put that glue in place. And I did this because I wanted this sentiment to be tucked in and around. Everything is kind of around the sentiment, which I think is really cute. You could add a lot more things. Like there was paintbrushes and all kinds of things that I did not add to this, but you could add a ton more. I thought it'd be fun to add some little white detail to the cupboards. I'm going to add white detail highlights to all of the images around the containers that hold the dies and the stamps. And then I'm also going to write in where it embossed the word stamps and dies, just to highlight that a little bit more. So these are just extra details that you don't have to add, but I wanted to add. So here's where I'm filling out or filling in the sentiments on there. And then this will be adhered to a white A2 size card base. I do need to add some knobs, so I'm going to use black pops of color for this. And I'm just going to tap the back just to flatten those just a little bit. And then we can take a look at this up close. Is this not just so cute? All of those little dies are so darling. I love this card. Okay, guys, thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you feel inspired by this card, and I hope you guys have a really amazing day. Bye.